Have you ever walked into an old house and felt like it was trying to tell you a story? Not because of the furniture, not because of the pictures on the walls, but because of the silence. An elderly man named Walter lived alone in a small house at the end of a quiet street. Every evening, just before sunset, he carried a wooden chair out onto his front porch. He placed it beside his own chair. Then he sat there for about an hour. Neighbors noticed the empty chair. Children asked their parents why no one ever sat in it. Some people assumed Walter was waiting for a visitor. Others believed it was simply an old habit. Year after year, the chair remained there, always empty. One afternoon, a young man named Ethan moved into the neighborhood. Curious by nature, he introduced himself to Walter. After a few friendly conversations, Ethan finally asked the question everyone else had wondered about. Why do you always bring out that second chair? Walter smiled. He looked at the empty chair for a long moment before answering. When I was younger, he said, I was always busy. I worked overtime. I chased promotions. I kept telling myself I was doing it for my family. When my children wanted to play, I said, maybe tomorrow. When my wife wanted to take a walk, I said, I'm too tired. When my parents called, I told myself I'd return the call later. There was always another meeting, another deadline, another excuse. Walter paused. The strange thing about tomorrow, he continued, is that it eventually runs out. My children grew up. My parents passed away. My wife became sick. And one day, the chair beside me became empty. He gently rested his hand on the old wooden seat. I keep this chair here to remind myself of something. The people who matter most rarely ask for expensive gifts. They ask for your time. Ethan didn't know what to say. That evening, he went home earlier than usual. Instead of scrolling through his phone, he called his mother. The conversation lasted only 15 minutes, but before hanging up, she quietly said, I'm so glad you called. He realized it had been almost 3 months since they had spoken. The next weekend, he visited his grandfather. They drank coffee together, talked about baseball, shared old family stories. Nothing extraordinary happened. No dramatic speeches, no life-changing event, just two people spending time together. Months later, his grandfather passed away peacefully. At the funeral, Ethan found himself thinking about that afternoon. He wasn't grateful because they had done something exciting. He was grateful because he had shown up. Life has a way of teaching us the value of ordinary moments, usually after they've become memories. We often believe the important days are birthdays, graduations, weddings, or promotions. But when people look back on their lives, they rarely remember those moments alone. They remember family dinners, conversations on long drives, laughing over something silly, walking together without looking at the clock. Those ordinary moments quietly become extraordinary memories. Success has its place. Working hard matters. Building a career matters. Providing for your family matters. But none of those things can replace your presence. Money can buy a beautiful house. It can't create a warm home. A busy schedule may fill your calendar, but it doesn't automatically fill your heart. The truth is, everyone you love is living through a season you'll never see again. Parents grow older. Children grow up. Friends move away. Neighbors change. Time never asks for permission before moving forward. That's why the smallest choices often become the biggest regrets. I'll visit next month. I'll call tomorrow. We'll make time someday. Sometimes, someday never arrives. But here's the good news. If you're hearing this today, there's still time. Time to send the message. Time to make the phone call. Time to forgive. Time to thank someone who changed your life. Time to sit beside someone without looking at your watch. Walter's empty chair wasn't really empty. It was filled with a lesson, a reminder that the greatest wealth in life isn't measured by what we own, but by the people who know they mattered to us. Years from now, it's unlikely anyone will remember how many emails you answered or how many hours you spent at the office, but someone will remember that you listened. Someone will remember that you encouraged them. Someone will remember that you were there. And sometimes being there is the greatest gift you can give. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. If this story meant something to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who is someone you're grateful for today? Share their first name or simply tell us why they matter to you in the comments below. If you enjoy meaningful stories that inspire reflection and encourage positive living, consider subscribing for more each week. Until next time, take care of the people you love, make time for what truly matters, and never let an ordinary moment become an opportunity you wish you had taken.